Dun, 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 dun. Corporate jujitsu. That's what that is. Get away, get away, get away. Okay, here we are, ready to make some magic. I've got my computer here charging. Where's my water? I'm not set up for success. And now I'm parched. Well, welcome to the show. Hey, Facebook. Welcome, welcome. Let me put today's topic in the igram. Igram comfort zones, awful suckers. So you can see the topic title on Facebook, but IG has no idea what we're talking about today. Comfort zones. Listen, comfort zones feel so good, but they don't serve us. Not really. So I had a let me pin this. So I had a chance to have a chitter chat with an old boss of mine who has just continued to climb the ranks and do the damn thing in these streets and present massive levels of black girl magic. And so we were just having a chat earlier, and I was like, to be a person of color and to have an opportunity to get exposure to personal development, leadership development, opportunities for personal growth where it's like for you, by you, right? The FUBU of personal development and leadership development, because, to have access to leaders who have done some of the things that we aspire to do, or to have access to leaders who inspire us, um, I think, who look like us, to me, honestly, is a major key. And it can absolutely change the game. And so, for each and every single one of us, if you are a person of color, or you are part of the BIPOC crew, right? Black, indigenous, or a person of color, find an amazing leader that you look up to who looks like you, and follow along their journey. If you actually have access to them and can have a conversation with them, do it. Because I think it's like, if you can see it, you can be it, that whole thing. So I think that that definitely is something important to note, and something that I have shared. I don't know who I was talking to or what platform. Maybe it was a podcast I was on or something. But something that I have shared is that I didn't see a black woman in a position of power, i.e., in the C suite, until I was in my 30s. Yeah, like the companies that I worked at, I didn't see a black woman calling the shots from the C suite level until I was in my 30s, which I'm just like, that's unacceptable. That's why representation matters. And it wasn't until I finally saw that at my with my own eyes, like, and it wasn't just reading about someone or like seeing someone amazing like Oprah or seeing someone amazing like Michelle Obama, which to date I have not had the pleasure yet of meeting either of them, but I would love to. And so if you can meet this person that inspires you, or this person represents something you would aspire to be in leadership, engage with them, meet them, reach out to them, add them to your network so that you can keep possibility at the top of your mind. Hey, Meek Raculous, shoulder roll. Hey, Bianca. Hey, girls. Hey, I see you, Facebook, but you got to send me a note so that I can like legitimately say hi. So, comfort zones off of suckers. But you know what? Comfort zones feel really good, like a snuggie and a really good couch. But we can't live there, y'all. For what we're trying to do, comfort zones is not where we want to be. So let's jump into three things, three big ideas that I have that I want us to consider as we really become insistent, committed, and diligent to stepping away from them comfort zones. So, look, if you don't know me and this is your first time tuning in to Day with Dorothy, I'm Dorothy Enriquez, your personal change agent. I am the principal and founder of the Communication Strategist, which is a boutique learning and leadership development collective where we work with organizations and individuals just like yourself to help make sure that you are optimized and equipped to lead from every single seat you sit in across every single industry. Exciting! Listen, 2021 is our year. I'm excited and I am fired up. I have a 2.5 day training coming up, all day Thursday, all day Friday, half day Saturday. So, I got to like gas myself up and get ready. So, 3 tips. Tip number 1, if we want to get out of comfort zones, because comfort zones awful suckers. Tip number 1, focus on incremental change, aka baby steps. Celebrate baby steps. Sometimes, especially for go getters and high performers and high potentials, we're always looking for the big thing. But as we step away from comfort zones, there's so much that goes into that, right? Because stepping away from comfort zones requires some level of competence. It requires some level of confidence. It requires some level of courage and bravery, all of these things. So as we step away from what is comfortable to us, we have to celebrate baby steps and we have to focus on those incremental steps. So let me look at my notes here. What's important is step 1, because anything after step 1 is a distraction until we do step 1. You see what I'm saying? And here's the thing. I know I do this. And I've been working with a high performance coach. I worked with a high performance coach last year at the top of the year. And then, of course, it's the top of the next year. I'm working with a high performance coach again. But here's the thing that I do not always break things down into incremental steps. And what do I notice, even in myself as a leadership development professional? Stagnation. So I'll literally put something in my productivity planner that'll say, design training program or workshop series for the Apartment Association for Kansas City. That's a big to do. That actually is multiple things inside of one thing. And so my poor little brain sees that to do, and literally day after day after day goes by, and I've done nothing for my programming, right? And if my programming is a month from now, I need to get ready. You know what I mean? Like, I cannot wait till the day before if I'm going to shine and bring the Black Girl Magic virtually. So, what I learned, because I noticed that I've done that, where I'll say, like, put together program for the African American Leadership Program, put together programming for Reach Counseling, or whoever my client is, Citizens Bank, Kohl's, Campbell's, whoever. And when I do that, it causes me to just flap in the wind and flounder because it's too big of a to do. It's like giving myself the task of mopping the ocean. Sis is never going to get started because that seems impossible, right? So by putting it into incremental steps of what are your objectives when you work with this client or whatever it is that you're doing, right? In my case, working with a client. So what are your objectives? What are you trying to do with this session? What's your agenda? What's going to be on tap for that day? Whether it's an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. In this case, it's like 16 hours plus 4 more, right? What's on tap? What's on deck? What are the things that you need to be thinking about? And what do you want people to walk away with? Like, if they forget everything else, what do you want them to walk away with? And what do you want the look and feel of this presentation to be? When I break stuff down, even for myself, into little tiny bits and pieces, I'm way more likely to check it off the list because now it feels attainable, right? And so when we're looking at what's required to get out of our comfort zone, let's start with step 1. Instead of looking at all the things that we got to do, let's just do step 1 first because everything after that is a distraction until we get step 1 completed, right? And we cannot change. We cannot change if we are distracted. One of the things that I'm always putting on my productivity planners on a daily basis, the thing to step away from, move from, run from, is distractions, right? Whether that's distractions that are internal, Oh, Dorothy, who do you think you are charging that? Oh, Dorothy, who do you think you are feeling like you can go out here and just do whatever it is that you're doing? No one wants to listen to you. Everybody's heard it before. You're not saying anything new. Whatever those distractions could be, internal or external, right? We got to move that stuff out of the way. Hi, Build with Teresa. Shoulder roll. Welcome to the show. So, it is worse, I believe, far worse when we are distracted by internal, right? Like, I was meeting with my high performance coach yesterday, and he was like, honestly, Dorothy, you bad. You got it. The only thing standing in your way that I'm seeing right now is you. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's why I'm paying you all this money to tell me the truth. And like I've always said, even coach got a coach, right? If you're gonna be sitting up here coaching folks, you better make sure you got coaches so that you can keep it tight, right? As you do what it is that you do. So it is worse when the distractions are internal. And so we then have to ask ourselves the question every single day, every day: how do I get out of my own way? How do I get out of my own way? How do I move the obstacle of me? How do I remove the obstacle of Dorothy to do what I need to do? So focus on incremental change. Then next, I should ain't strong enough, okay? Like, I should lose weight. I should work out. I should not eat so much candy. I should go to bed on time. When I say I should is not strong enough, I should has never really compelled me. It just hasn't. For whatever reason, I should is not compelling, not just for me, but for most people. It's not compelling. You know what I mean? And so it cannot, as we move out of comfort zones, as we remind ourselves comfort zones awful suckers, it cannot just be that we should not stay in a comfort zone. It can't just be an idea, right? Having a good idea is not good enough. It has to be important to you for real, right? Because should ain't never gonna get you to move nowhere. Not really. There may be some people out there who could bust a move behind a should, but usually we're shooting all over ourselves and we're shooting on other people, and it's not impactful. It's not effective. If anything, it's annoying. It's kind of like, ugh, get this mosquito away from me. Get this should away from me. I don't want it. Where's my should repellent? So if we just should ourselves to death, then we're not going to actually move. We're not going to actually change. And if the goal is to get out of our comfort zone and get out of our own way, shoulding is not how we're going to get there, right? So if you're looking at the big picture and you've got this ultimate desire to lose weight, to get a promotion, to switch industries, to buy a home, to get your dream job, whatever the case may be, you then have to look at what it is that you are striving toward and ask yourself, like, is it worth it? All this work I'm about to do to get the thing that I said I wanted, is it worth it to me? And what does that look like? What does that sound like? What does that feel like? What am I wearing? Like, what is it worth to me to actually execute with brilliance this thing that I am shooting for or aspiring towards? And it could be just about anything, right? Personally and professionally. So, lastly, the obstacle is the way. Ryan Holiday wrote a whole book about it. But as you are looking at navigating through the obstacle, using your prepositions, going through it, above it, behind it, around it, under it, whatever the case may be, as you leverage your prepositions as a leader, you must identify the feelings. This idea that we don't have no feelings and we can't attach to this is not the way to go, right? Hand over your heart to yourself, right? What's really holding me back? Do some digging and ask yourself what you're trying to do. If you're trying to lose weight, why? Oh, well, because my clothes don't fit. Okay, but your clothes ain't been fitting for a while. So why do you want to lose weight? Okay, because my clothes don't fit. Well, what's going to happen if you lose weight and your clothes fit? Well, I'm going to feel more confident if I lose weight and my clothes fit. Okay, so if you feel more confident, what's going to happen? Because you've lost weight, your clothes fit, now you're more confident. Well, if I lose weight and I feel more confident because my clothes fit, I'm probably going to speak up more in meetings at work. Okay, so if you lose weight, clothes fit, you're confident, you're speaking up more at meetings, so what? Well, if I'm speaking up more at meetings because I lost the weight, I feel confident, and I'm speaking up more, that means that all of these innovative ideas that I have to push the organization forward and positively impact the bottom line can be heard by key stakeholders who could then really be able to see why I deserve this promotion that I'm going to ask for. Ah, you want a promotion. That's what you really want. And so we're not doing the should thing. We're really uncovering and laying it out on the table what we're ultimately trying to do. And so we're in our own way because we're feeling a little frumpy, or we're feeling like we gained the COVID 19, or for some of us, the COVID 30. And we're like, man, I want to fix this. And it doesn't always have to be a weight loss thing. It could be, I really don't like my job. I hate my job. Okay, well, why do you hate your job? I hate my job because my job, I don't really align with their mission and vision at all. Like when I think about my own core values, my mission and vision, it just doesn't align. Okay, well, so what if it doesn't align? Well, because it doesn't align, I go to work every day and I don't understand why I'm gifting this company with my leadership. I don't understand how my talent, skills, capabilities, and capacities translate here. And so I hate it. Okay, but if you hate your job, what do you want to do? I want to switch jobs. Why? It cannot just be solely that you hate your job. What are you trying to do? And by asking yourself why, 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 by the time you get to that fourth, fifth, and sixth why, you're going to have greater clarity as to why you're doing what you're doing, and you will be more likely to be able to move your obstacle out of the way. Because sometimes, I know in my life, as much as I'd like to think that the obstacle is external to me, often it is me. I'm in my own way. I just cannot see it. So you want to ask yourself, as you're going through this process of basically handing over your heart and saying, I don't want to be in the comfort zone no more, you want to ask yourself, is it true? Right? Is it true that I can't get the promotion if I don't do XYZ? Is it true that I can't switch jobs or switch industries if I don't do XYZ? Is it true that I can't date during a pandemic, right? And what's really true? What's really true is I may have to get a little creative. What's really true is I may have to put myself out there on online dating sites. What's really true is I don't want to do the work. I want them to knock on my door and find me in my house. Aha! Now we are getting somewhere. But again, really doing this deep dive, handing over our heart to figure out what's holding us back. Because initially, we might be telling ourselves one thing and we might be having one talk track when we really need to be updating that talk track to get to where we need to go. So we do this question series of like, why? Well, why are you trying to do that? Why? And then asking yourself, when you think about the feelings that you have, like, I feel hopeless. I feel like I'm never going to build this brand to $1 million brand. I feel like I'm never going to find a great match for me. I feel like my kids are never going to get their poop in a group. Is it true? What's really true? And how do I know? So that you can acknowledge your feelings without concealing them and thinking that they are facts. Feelings are not facts, but what feelings do is they give us some insight into what's going on so that we can do some further exploration. Because at the end of the day, y'all, nothing good ever comes from comfort zones. It just doesn't, right? And I'm not saying that we cannot be content, but we don't want to be so comfortable that we don't keep moving forward towards the goals, dreams, and aspirations that we've set for ourselves. So I hope there was a nugget in here that you found helpful. Share this video with another lady leader. Go ahead and click that paper plane in Instagram or the share button on Facebook. Here, listen, so that you don't get me like, let me pose for you so that you can share this video. Yes, let's do this. So remember, if you want to get out of your comfort zones, you know what a great resource is for you? The Plug. Ew. The Plug. It's available in hard copy as the Plug kit, but it's also available as an ebook. Whatever you choose, whatever choice you would like to make the magic happen. And of course, you know how I do. Leaders take notes. Lead from every seat you sit in. This notebook is still available and flying off the virtual shelves. Make sure you get yours before we switch it up, y'all, because it's not going to be there forever. So, remember, you are required to lead from every seat you sit in. Comfort zones are for suckers. So, I hope that you plan to step up and step out of your comfort zone as much as possible in 2021. Until next week, y'all. TTFN. Ta-ta for now. Facebook, YouTube. You know you always get the last shoulder roll. Damn. Look at that. Slow-mo. Shoulder roll. All right. See y'all next week. Bye.